Welcome back to Ephemera Files by Tommy. I think that I keep going back and forth between with and by, so maybe I'm undecided, but we can agree that this is Ephemera Files, and it is with me, Tommy. I'm glad you're here today. I am happy you are so patient. I have been rather busy the past few days and finally got to come back to our July journal from a Simple Kit challenge with Dear Julie Julie. Today we are going to go over how I go about choosing papers for my signatures. Now, a signature is each collection of pages in a journal that are sewn in side by side. When you have, say this is 2 pieces of paper that I have, just like that. And once I have sewn this in, a signature can be as little as 2 pages, although that'd be mighty skinny. Or I wouldn't do any more than 7 in a signature because then it gets fat and unwieldy. But then you would have your pages and that would be a signature. So, and my basket dumped into my trash can the other day. I think I got everything out of it. We shall see. But everything is all in disarray and out of order, so I'm going to move some of this around. Let's see, I know I will need this. These are my papers that I have selected. That's a scrap. This is my book. That is one of the items that you were to have for the challenge. Here's my paper pad where most of the papers, the decorative papers anyway, will be coming from. Let's see, and I need this as well because that is my children's book that I will be working with. And I believe that is everything that will be going into choosing the papers for the signatures. Now I have already decided that I would like to have 5 signatures in here. I want them to be smallish so that they don't alligator mouth too much. That's what happens when your book doesn't want to close. Kind of like, let's see if I have one beside me. Kind of like my Bible here that I've been doing art journaling in. See how it doesn't want to close flat? It's not even halfway full, but that's what happens. And that's called alligator mouthing. And we don't really want that. It's going to happen anyway by the time we add all of our goodies and stuff in the way of tags and ephemera and extra pages and the pretties. So I'm going to do 5 signatures, and they're going to be fairly small. I think that I'm going to go with 7 pages each because I think that that will work since I'm doing 5 of them. We'll see. That may have to change later. So first I do this. I get all of my extra pages. We were required to have 6 different kinds of different papers, ledger, music, graph, coloring, all that goodness. And so I have those in this stack. No, that's a notepad. See, it dumped. I did add one thing. This came in the mail the other day and I'm like, that's perfect. That is perfect. So we'll see what happens with this. This is the composition book that was one of our requirements. I have already snipped the center threads, so they are loose in there. I've counted some out already. My coloring page. We'll just make a stack of all of the required pages. We will move these to the side because we will use these to fill in the empty spots. and then it starts. I have a nice large area that I can work with. My husband made me this wonderful desk that I talked to you about in my studio tour. And so I'm going to spread these out. Like I said, 5 signatures. So I'm going to make 5 piles. And I am just going to deal them like a deck of cards. So that my pages that I've chosen are spread out. No 2 signatures are going to look exactly alike, even though they will be sharing a lot of the same kinds of pages. Like these are 3 children's artist pad pages. But by the time I add in the others, they will not look the same as anything else. I also have 3 of this old ledger paper. 1 of the handmade paper. 1 of the heart paper. And then this will be considered a page because look how big that is. And I will put that into the signature and it will count. And so far we have 2 pages in each pile. So there's 3. And then we'll go 3. Sorry about all the paper rattle sounds. I didn't think about that when I stacked these back up. I could have kept them separate and that would have helped some on your ears. So my apologies for that. So that is 3. Here's 4. And now we will get into the paper pad. I chose this one because most of these looked very, very nice with the cover that I am working with. Now look, I have napkins stuck everywhere, and when things fall into the trash and you dig them back out, sometimes they look kind of trashy. All of these colors for the most part, now see that pink doesn't really go, and that one doesn't really go, but these others do. And this one doesn't really go, and that one doesn't, and that one, but the others do. So, and these that I said don't really go still might work to make pockets, to make journaling cards, different things like that, bookmarks. So I went through here, and I have already torn out the ones that I think I will use. But I thought I'd give you a little flip through of what the pad looks like. I think this I will have to be a little strategic about how I cut it, because that pink is a little much. But I think I can work around it. So that'll go on this stack. And this is where it gets a little tight. And this one I thought was beautiful with it. Perfect. A little floral. And we're going to move this here. I think that you can still see it, although my tape is covered up. I think you can still see enough of the paper there, I think. And I thought this went well with the colors. And this one, for a floral book, there are a lot of geometrics in this paper pad. Let's see. I think I'm just going to hold this, and I'll hold it like this. I pulled this one out as well. Now, the way I have these stacks sorted right now may change, because I may decide that I don't want those 2 geometrics in the same spot, or I don't want these 2 greens in the same signature. And that's perfectly fine as well, because that's part of the beauty of it, is you get to move things around until they work the way you want them to work. We'll put that green on that pile. There were a lot of greens in this paper pad that worked very well. There's that. And now I'll put this back over where you can see it, since I'm flipping some more. I'm pretty sure that I had, yes, that one. And then the rest of the paper pad is duplicates. But that is a nice pad. And I got it at Tuesday morning on a pink price. It was already $6.99, and then the pink price I think made it about $5. And that's an excellent price for a Heidi Swapp full size paper pad. I love Tuesday morning. All right, so each of our signatures got 2 of the big patterned pages. And like I said, I'll do some shifting around. I think I'm going to go ahead and switch that one with that one so that I have different greens. Let's see, that is a stripe and a geometric, but that stripe is really soft, so I think it'll be okay. However, I think that the 2 florals could be separated. I'll slide this one in with that floral, and I'll slide this floral with this. What is that called? I believe that's like an iCat print. All right, so now we have our signature papers somewhat sorted out. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think I'm on camera. 5, 6. So there are 6 pages in each of these signatures. So I get to add 1 more. And I like a couple of things about these books, and I may actually add 2 more per signature if it's not too fat. I don't have very many of these pages in there, which tend to be the thicker ones, and all these other papers tend to be thinner, so I might even get away with 8. We'll see what happens. I may not, and I may have to pull some of the plainer papers. I tore this book up because I wanted the cover for a completely different project. I'm not on screen. Here we go. And I discovered something when I was flipping through it for pages to use. This. I think this is so fun. Each of the parts has that beginning page, and it's blank on both sides except for the part 1, the part 2. So I think I'll either use this as a folded part of the signature, or I may just use it on the cover in some way. This is not a signature bound book. This is a single page all glued in. So it's not going to be one of those that I can take apart, but I know I'm going to use these pages. So I'm going to go through the book, and I'm going to pull out all of the parts pages. And by doing this thing, I also don't have to worry about searching for words. And I think you know what I mean, the little words that might be off-putting for somebody that is buying this journal. I am not going to censor anybody's taste, but I am also not going to offend somebody's taste by not being careful about what words they would see. Because I don't know if this may be a gift for a student, for a preteen, because preteens, they love, well, I won't say all of them, because I don't like to throw everybody into the same barrel. A lot of the preteens that I know love this kind of book that they can write their thoughts in, they can tuck little notes in. And like I said, I don't want to cause a problem for somebody. So I will do my best not to cause a problem for somebody. Oh, look, I have 5 signatures. There are 5 part pages. I hope part 4 is in here. Yes, there it is. It should have been, because I'm the one who tore the book up and I hadn't used it. But you never know when you get a used book. Now, this book was on the donation cart at my local library. When they have books that are no longer, no longer going to be in circulation for them, they will put them out on a cart and you just take them. Now, I don't take all of them, although that could really become a problem for me if I didn't watch it. That makes me so happy. I just cannot tell you how happy it makes me that that worked out. Oh my goodness. Okay, so since I'm so excited about that, The Velveteen Rabbit is the little book, the children's book that I chose to use. And I started to take the cover off and it just popped off. And it's in signatures. So I'm going to very carefully, it's only 2 signatures, but it's still signatures, very carefully pull those off the staples. I saved this part so you could see how to do it, see how I do it anyway. Very carefully, carefully, oh, carefully. Ooh, that one's on there tight and there's a little bit of glue. So hold your breath with me. Aha, there we go. Now I will do something with those. Oh, that's cute. It's Jessica Baker, year 2000. Hi, Jessica, if you're watching. Who knows? I will probably use this cover somehow. I may make a writing board out of it to put with the journal. And so I have these 2, I think I counted. These 2. I keep pulling it up to my face, and you need it in your face more than I need it in mine. Here we go. That little bit of glue is holding it together. So let's look through here and see if there's anything that really, really looks like it will work well. I may not be able to use any of these pages as actual pages in the journal, but I am certain I can use the pictures. I might be able to use that. I think I like that, so I'll set that aside. I won't set it with one of the sections yet. That's adorable. That will probably end up being a tuck or something. We'll set this part aside. Now let's look at this. It's easier if we start from the center. Look at those yellows and those pinks and the peaches right there. That goes perfectly. So that will also go in one of the signatures. And I think that those are going to be the only 2. I think that those are going to be the only 2 that we use as signature pages. So we'll go ahead and distribute them. And I think that did I lose count? I think that makes 7. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It makes 8. But I think that's okay. We will find some more thin pages real quick to put in here. Let's see what we have. We could put another graph paper in there. What else do we have in our basket that we're working from? Let's see. Oh, you know what? Well, this is nice. That's stapled. So if I get my staple remover out, which should be right here. There it is. I have a little set of drawers under my desk where I can keep tools at hand. Tools and other goodies and stuff. And a trash can behind me so that I don't have to worry about finding the trash can. I just have to worry about dropping my basket full of my items that I'm using into the trash can. Let's see. And we needed 1, 2. Let's look and see how many other things we have that could become pages in here. we actually can use a pair of envelopes to be a page. We'll put that there. And then we still have an envelope to use. And what's down here are the file folders. Okay, so it looks like I can use 2 of these in the signature, and that will make them all even. Now, whether they stay or not is yet to be determined. But there we have chosen the papers for our signatures. Like I said, there will be some rearranging. I will want to make sure that I have plenty of color against the creams and the whites. We will also be stenciling on the backs of a lot of the white ones because I like a little color. I like for you to have room to write. I also don't want you to have to look at a completely blank page because that can be intimidating. So let's get these stacked. There's one signature. And there is one. How am I going to do this? We'll do it that way. I know you can only see the corner, but I'm running out of room with these big pieces of paper on my desk. As big as the desk is, I'm still running out of room a bit to make these stacks. But once I get the stacks made, here we go. I'll do diamonds and then squares. Diamonds and squares. That will work. And our last stack. All right, so we have our 5 signatures sorted out and ready to actually become signatures. They're not signatures yet. So I will be back soon, and we will start the folding and the deciding what is going to be pockets, what is going to be tucks, what we need to add, what we need to take away. But that is how I determine what papers are going to be in my signatures. And I want you to remember, as always, be kind. Be kind to one another. There is not anyone in this world who does not need a little more kindness. And there is no one in this world who can't give a little more kindness. So be kind, always.